This is the Investor Mindset Podcast.
As we get to the end of the year, I think it's so important to be reminded about why it's so critical to understand what are the things that we're doing that are working and what are the things that aren't serving our vision and purpose. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about why this is so important, where people get caught up, and how you can overcome and make some differences in your own life. So where do people get caught up? Happens all the time. You're having some success. You're going down the path. You're feeling good. You're feeling like everything is starting to go in your direction. And then you think to yourself, hey, well, I no longer need to do this habit or this exercise or continue to work with this professional or coach or expert. I think I've got it on my own. And you quickly end up seeing yourself driving directly into that median or worse, not being able to fulfill on any of the promises that you've made to yourself or to others. And so what is happening here? Well, it's when people are having lots of success, they end up forgetting that one of the key reasons they were having that success was the actions that they were taking on a daily and weekly basis, and the people that they were working with, they've hired, they've partnered with, or they've brought into the world that are helping them stay in alignment and move towards that direction that they want to go in. It happens all the time. You see this at companies when they hit massive amounts of success. They start forgetting what got them to that success in the first place. And when we forget about what got us to that success in the first place, we end up falling flat on our face. So we want to avoid that at all costs. So how do we end up avoiding that at all costs? Well, one of the ways that we're going to do that is we are going to continuously build a habit of checking in with ourselves. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. The way I'm going to show you is the way that I personally go about checking in with myself and understanding what's working and what isn't, and how I can continuously check in so that I can continuously make adjustments to the direction and make sure that I'm in alignment with my vision. So that exercise, that activity that you can do is you're going to sit down, you're going to get out a handy dandy piece of paper, and you're going to get that piece of paper out, and you are going to simply journal to yourself what has been working this month, what has gone well. This exercise is phenomenal for helping you realize what accomplishments you've already made, what you can be grateful for, what you would actually set out to do, but you have yet to accomplish, and really helps you stay on track. So after you write these different things down, you're understanding what has been working and what has not been working. You can quickly identify, well, these different activities are going well. Now we ask ourselves, what was part of contributing to those activities going well? That is when we actually are going to start identifying what we need to keep doing. And so what are some of the things that often come up when we're doing this activity? We'll see habits like meditation, getting enough sleep, avoiding eating 2 or 3 hours before bed, might be things like working out, could be things like working out with your trainer or a specific type of workout. It could be working with your coach, could be working with a mentor, it could be journaling. These are some of the habits that you're going to see that might come up. On the business side, you might see different activities that you've been doing that have been resulting in lots of leads coming in your team working more effectively. Whatever these different activities are, activities we want to identify, we want to make sure we can then create a habit of those activities and make sure we can create a system and process so that we keep doing them. Because one of the biggest mistakes people make, like I've said, is that they start having massive success and then they think to themselves, I want to take a break from doing that activity. And what they do is they're riding up, they hit a plateau, they're on that plateau right now, and they decide, well, I'm on that plateau, I want to take a break. And what do? Well, they end up crashing down, and they end up creating this roller coaster effect that ends up preventing them from ever feeling like they're really hitting that consistency that they want. And they're consistently going through this roller coaster of feeling great, feeling like they're losing their momentum, hitting rock bottom, and then coming back up and back down. We want to avoid that at all costs, so we need to sit down and do this exercise on a regular basis, and it's really important. I mean, ask yourself the question, where in my life am I self-sabotaging and causing myself to quit doing the things that made me most successful in the first place? We see this all the time when it comes to investing. People will quickly get into the action steps necessary to do the due diligence, to start looking at deals, to start underwriting, to start getting familiar with sponsors, to start getting comfortable. They'll make an investment. They'll start understanding what's happening with that investment. They'll make a second investment. And then all of a sudden, somewhere along this path, they think to themselves, hey, I'm good. I no longer need to keep doing this. They fall out of that habit. And then they wonder to themselves, why do I feel a lack of confidence around making this decision to get back into investing again? This happens all the time with coaching. People see massive success, and then they think to themselves, hey, well, I now have accomplished what I originally wanted to, or I feel like I'm making progress towards that accomplishment. I have yet to get there. I'm going to go on my own. And what they end up doing is they crash. They come back to their coach. Their coach gets them back on track, and they crash. And it's one of those things you want to avoid at all costs. We see this a lot within the gym industry, people working with personal trainers at the beginning of the year. The place is packed. People are having these actions. They're feeling good. They stop. They go back to their life. So have to ask you, where do you think you're doing this in your life right now? What decisions or actions have you taken within the last 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 weeks that have actually stopped you from doing the things that got you to that success in the first place? Ask yourself that. Let me know down in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or shoot me a DM at Steven.Pesavento on Instagram. Would love to hear what actions you're recognizing that you need to keep doing, and most importantly, how are you going to start taking action on that again? Appreciate you joining us for another episode. Love being able to impact and inspire millions of people to live a better life. And I believe there's no better way to do that through real estate. We're on a mission to help liberate people from having to work. And there's no better way to do that than by creating cash flow and equity growth through real estate investing. So thank you for diving in, learning a little bit more about how you can make some changes in your own life, living with that investor mindset and starting taking action. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Investor Mindset Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Head over to theinvestormindset.com to join the Insider Club, where we share tools and strategies from the top investors and entrepreneurs on how to take it to the next level.